Welcome. All right, so let's talk about what to expect out of the next 12 weeks, right? How does this work? You signed up, you're excited, you're on board, you know how phase one is going to look, but how does this actually work? Let's talk about some of the logistics here next. So, first, we're going to start with kind of identifying and recognizing the real secret when it comes to long-term sustainable health, right? Changing our bodies. If you want to be hot and healthy, you've got to gain control of your relationship with your food and your body because that is the only way we're going to overcome that ongoing struggle of fat loss and long-term sustainable health. So, what is holding you back? One, the inability to be consistent. Two, the lack of understanding how to execute. If if information was the problem and we didn't know what we needed to do, Google would have solved it a long time ago, right? So we want to know, how do we execute on this knowledge that we have? And not knowing the most important things to focus on is also a major issue that holds us back, right? We want to know, where can we really put our energy and effort to get the most return on that investment? So, what's the solution? We want to make long term changes by building your healthy habits week by week. We want to start at the beginning and we want to build up that consistency level so that you can actually see those results unfold. So let's talk about the three non-negotiables for fat loss. All right, I have this little priority pyramid over here. Um, we'll see that consistency is at the base of the pyramid. We have education on top of that, and we have experience on top of that. Okay, so the most important thing that you can get out of our work together is recognizing that you need consistency to get results. A week or two of hard work is not going to cut it. 8 weeks of 80% consistency, that'll make a dent. That'll make a change for you. Okay. And in order to be able to be consistent, we need some education on this, right? The information that you get in this program and the education that you get is so that you no longer feel overwhelmed by all the contradicting food rules and diets and exercise and stuff out there, right? I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. I don't want you to be confused. I want you to know what works for you. I want you to have a working knowledge of what really is important for you, right? And then we need experience. And the experience is also about trial and error, right? Like I said, we're going to fail a little bit in order to succeed. So many of us will, like, quote unquote, fail diets or exercise plans because we're trying to shove our round lives into a square hole, right? And it just doesn't work that way. So we need to understand that while some things will work, other things might not work for us. And just because it worked for somebody else doesn't mean that we have to do it too. So that experience and that trial and error and personalizing the information is a really major part of what we will be focusing on. So let's talk about what you are going to be able to expect from me every day in the first phase one part of this program. All right. And I like to say that I'm giving you the fish while you learn to fish. Okay. So every day you're going to have an email in the morning from me, and it's going to be a reminder of what this week's habit is to focus on. You're going to have daily things on the schedule inside of the app. So that might be videos like this, it might be PDFs or guides, and it will also include your workouts and the training that you should be doing as well. You're going to have daily coaching lessons Monday to Friday. So, information on the education side of things. These are quick reads. It shouldn't take more than 5 minutes, but it's to give you a little more information about the habit that we're practicing that week, to make it a little bit easier, to help you to understand the habit so that it's not just, hey, go do this thing. It's, well, if this happens, you could try this, or if this happens, you could try that, right? And see what works for you. And then with all of those things, you have daily check-ins within the app. So you'll see an area where you can check off, yes, I did this, right? Hit the little check mark. One, because it kind of feels good to check it off the list, and that's a little more motivating and makes us like feel good about things, but also because then I know what's going on. I want to make sure that I know that you're getting the information, and we keep our communication pathways open so that you're getting everything that you need from me And so that I know whether you're struggling or whether you're feeling really successful and where you're at. And the more that we can communicate, the better. So checking things off really, really helps with that because then I know, okay, she's got this. Cool, we're good on that, right? You'll get notifications for anything on your schedule in the app if you have notification settings on your phone. So I would highly suggest that you go into your notification settings and you turn on notifications for the app because if you do that, you will get reminders popping up on your phone throughout the day for these different things, which can be really helpful and kind of help to keep us on track. And then let's talk about what you get week to week, right? So, what you're going to expect from me on a weekly basis is we're going to have a process oriented nutrition habit with accompanying lessons. So, like I said, you're getting lessons every day, Monday to Friday, but we're going to have the habit that we focus on every week. And that's going to be kind of the foundation for the nutritional side of things. Okay. It's process oriented, which means we're focusing on the practice of doing it, the practice of being consistent versus the outcome of did you actually do it, yes or no. If you're trying and maybe you just didn't quite nail it yet, that's okay. It still counts and you can check it off as a yes. All right. You're going to have, depending on the schedule that we discuss and we decide for you, you're going to have 2 to 5 days of scheduled training sessions from me, right? And again, this depends on your starting point and kind of where we want to pick up from. And then you're going to have any lesson guides or information that you need to be successful. So this might include some recipe ideas. It might include, a grocery shopping list of different foods that would help, for that habit or things that'll help you for the week. Anything that can make it a little bit easier for you, that's going to be in the app. And you're going to have information to go along with each habit for that. And then we're going to have our coaching calls. So as we talk and we get our FaceTime and we discuss what's going on, that's where we can really work through your own specific challenges and make sure that you're on the right track, right? So by leaving all the educational stuff on the app, then we're able to really discuss that and troubleshoot anything, any questions that you have when we're actually talking to each other, face to face. So when we look at the weekly lessons, there is a little bit more of structure to that. So the first lesson that you get every week from me is going to be what the habit is, right? It tells you what to do. So you can check off your habit for the day. And it'll have kind of this easy button answer of like, okay, what is the bare minimum? What's something that'll make it really simple for me to try to hit this habit so I can feel good? And then after I get a little bit more experience, maybe I start to kind of play around with it and explore it a little bit more. Okay. The second lesson of the week is going to be stumbling blocks. This is going to be where I'm talking to you about common pitfalls or mistakes that might come up. And we're going over any ideas on implementing what I call the 3 S's, which are our structure, our systems, and our scheduling so that you can take action. So this is to help with that actually consistently executing the habit that we're working on, right? And then from there, we're going to have the why. So, how is this habit furthering our progress? How is this actually helping us? What does mastering this habit do for our bodies, for our minds, and really what are the benefits of that? Any additional lessons, right, Thursday, Friday, are going to hone in on more detailed topics. And it might be a little more like mindset management or different things like that that we're working on that help to go along with the habit for the week, but that are equally, educational and good information that I want you to have. So when we look at the additional lessons, some examples of things that will pop up that you'll see on there are things like talking about protein powders, right? Do I need a protein powder? Which one should I use? What's better? What's worse? What do I do with that? Or fiber intake is another one, right? You can see like fiber intake, that's what goes along with our vegetable habit. And what do we do? Do we need fiber? What kind of fiber? How do I know if I'm getting fiber? All of these things are important to know and understand. Same thing with supplements. When we look at mindset matters, we're talking about basically the stuff that we've already talked about through our phase 1 and phase 2, which is looking at how do we stay on top of our mindset and our ability to create change? How do we make sure that we believe that we can actually do this and we don't go into it thinking, oh, I've failed so many times before. I don't know if it's going to stick, right? You already think in the back of your mind, it's not going to work out. And that can be a problem. That can really hold us back. It's a limiting belief, right? Believe me, if I can do this, anybody can do this. Okay, so you got this, but we got to get your head in the right place so that you know that you can and you believe in yourself. So you're going to stay on top of your mindset and your ability to create change. It's important because eventually you're going to have this moment where you go, oh my gosh, what did I do? What if this doesn't work? I think this is wrong. I'm not sure what to do. And it's my job to prepare you for the normal stages of change. It will feel hard. There will be resistance. There will be times when you think this was a huge mistake. It wasn't. You're just on the right path. You're literally on the way through change and it's uncomfortable. And if you just stick with it and keep going, it will get better, right? It's just a roller coaster that comes along with it. And then we're going to have practice weeks. So there will be some weeks in between our program where we're focusing on practicing on the habits that we've developed and kind of pressing pause on lots of new information or on new habits. So it gives you time to layer these habits together and build things together so that you're able to really master those habits and keep them long term. Okay, so that's what you can expect from me and what you're getting throughout the program, throughout the week, and throughout each day of the first part of the program.